Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. Now, I think I've said on a few videos in the past here that I basically probably made a mistake getting rid of my Fatboy that I previously had. So, that being the case, actually, for the past probably 3 or 4 months or so, I've actually been keeping my eyes peeled for another Fatboy. And that's when it came to my attention. I got a line on a bike that had come in. Dealership was going to do a little bit of work to it, but it hadn't been advertised to the public yet. I could come in and look at it if I wanted. They just said it wouldn't be polished or buffed or, detailed or anything like that. So I thought, why not? So that bike was a 2017 Fatboy S. Now, why I might be interested in this model is that the 2017 was basically the last of its kind in a couple of areas. Number one, it was the last of the twin cams in the Fatboy. It was also the last of the kind of classic styling of the Fatboy. Before they moved into 2018, you still had the flared fenders, the big, bullet headlight. It still had that classic look to it. Another thing about the 2017 Fatboy S is that it came with a 110 cubic inch Screamin' Eagle twin cam engine, which was the biggest production engine that Harley made with the twin cams. Actually, I think a couple years prior, you could only get them in CVOs. So anyway, I thought I'd go have a look at it. And actually, I have to apologize because I had more footage, but for some reason, the GoPro didn't want to film it. So this is what I got. But here's a little walk around of the bike. Yeah, it's definitely loud.
Yeah, it is.
Reinhardt, you say, eh?
Yeah, looks like a 3-inch.
Definitely sounds good, that's for sure. And a little circuit board on there. Okay, so there's a quick little look at the bike. As you could tell, it was still in the back shop, strapped down. I wasn't going to be riding it. They're still doing a little stuff to it. However, I don't think the GoPro picked up all the detail it could when I look back at the footage. And the reason is because the paint on this bike was rough. And I mean pretty rough. It looked to me like whoever had the bike before was using a scouring pad to clean it. I don't know that there wasn't really any, or not many areas on that bike, at least on the paint, where it wasn't swirled, scratched, scuffed, scraped. It was in pretty bad shape. Also, I'll see if I can put a picture up here. If if you can see, the lowers on the forks are very pockmarked. They're very stone chipped right up. I don't know how much, if this guy was driving on a pile of gravel all the time or what. But that wasn't in very good shape either. Now, the seat and saddlebags, again, you probably can't see from the footage. They were okay, but you can tell that they'd seen quite a bit of moisture. Now, that's either that this guy washed it a whole lot and didn't dry it, which looking from the paint, I doubt it. Or it was sitting out in the rain all the time. So I don't know. Now, having said that, the bike itself sounded good, seemed to run good, and started up fine. Apparently they hadn't found any big major mechanical issues or anything like that with the engine and transmission, anything like that. And of course, like they said, they had not buffed it. Now, this bike actually had about 38,000 kilometers on it, which is actually a little more than I would kind of prefer, to be honest with you. But the question comes down to, did I actually buy this Fatboy? And the answer is no, I did not. Actually, there's a couple of big issues for me, other than the paint was in bad shape. Even if they did, like, if they managed to polish it, the guy would have to be a miracle worker to get all that stuff out of it. Really, a couple of the big problems was, I asked the salesman, I said, well, what was the previous owner like? What, young guy, old guy, you know? And he basically said, well, we don't know. We don't have a history on the bike because it came from an auction, which was the first thing that set my alarm bells off. Like, oh crap, like, I don't even know the history of this thing. I don't know if it's had the bag driven off it, which it most likely has, having looked at it. That was the first thing. Second thing was, I had thought, maybe a guy could trade in the old lowrider against it, because the lowrider should have some good value. I've got a decent amount paid off on it. And the price I was given, to be quite honest with you, I found to be kind of a little bit of a slap in the face, quite honestly. They were willing to value a 2023 lowrider actually quite a bit less than the 2017 they're trying to sell. It was nowhere near what I thought it would be worth. So obviously dealerships are going to do that, though. Dealerships, you're never going to get your value out of it. But there's a difference between making a little bit of money off your trade-in and absolutely gouging you for everything they possibly can. So, am I going to get that bike? No, I am not. However, leads me to tell you that there is a part 2 to this video, because my search is not, or was not, over. And I think you'll be very interested to see what happens in part 2 of this video. So stay tuned. If this one interested you, you'll be very interested in the next one. Anyway, that's it for today. Tune in next week, same time, same channel, and we'll talk a little more about the search for a Fatboy. See you later.